Steve Masterton, unbeaten of course here at Amaroo Park at our first meeting. That hasn't happened here this afternoon. Steve Masterton, an interesting driver, 29 years of age, been racing 8 years, of course, comes from Sydney. Hobbies are shooting, trail bike riding. 78 was the class win at Bathurst and Rookie of the Year that year, and 81 the winner of the AMSCAR Series. Young man in a hurry is Steve Masterton. Just how much of a hurry we'll see when he gets the Masterton Holmes 2WS machine off the line with car number 16 starting next to him, Garry Scott.
Garry Scott will want to be in a hurry if he wants to stay out of trouble this time.
He hasn't got the best record for one lap here at Amaroo, but it hasn't really been his fault either. Flag shortly to go up. 8 laps the distance. Some good touring car racing coming your way.
10 seconds.
Avon tyres. They're racing and getting away smartly was Garry Scott. Goes for the second gear selection. Looking for Steve Masterton. Masterton there with him on the outside, and so too is Terry Finnigan as he gets up the outside of Jim Richards. Couldn't move that. He'll come out running in about 5th spot. So the little Nissan Turbo with Queensland's Garry Scott in front. Steve Masterton in second. Jim Richards is third. Terry Finnigan the next one through the pack. And then next is Terry Shield and Bobby Morris close to him.
And Bobby Morris anxious to get through. He doesn't want to be sitting back there in 6th place. Only 8 laps, of course, here. Garry Scott in the Bluebird coming down into Honda. Desperate, of course, to remain clear of the big machinery behind him. He knows what it's like to tangle with these guys around here. Masterton at the last meeting. Finnigan in the previous race. Down to the lake corner, and it's oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, we've got just back off that corner a couple of cars have tangled. We'll get back to that shortly. Okay, down for 1 lap completed. 7 remain across the strike. Heading up Bitcher Pave Hill is Garry Scott of Queensland in the Nissan Turbo, and I think that puts him in front. There's Christine Gibson in the Nissan Pulsar, reversed into the bank over there, just as Garry Scott had taken over the lead. The second Nissan entry has finished up on the approach to the lake corner after an incident, I think.
Fred Geisler in the Commodore, had a bit of a touch there, the pair of them. Put them both out of business. And as you said, Christine halfway over the bank.
Well, we'll see the field come past them now as they come out of Honda corner. And just observing as he goes past would be Garry Scott, thinking, what's happened there?
He won't want to take his attention off the track for too long because Masterton is right up his tailpipe. Jim Richards in 3rd, then Finnigan. Bobby Morris is up to 4th, and then Terry Shield and Gary Wilmington.
Well, they found something with the Nissan Turbo this afternoon. Atmospheric conditions perfect here today. Heading up Bitcher Pave, Masterton on the move behind Garry Scott of Queensland. Jim Richards not that far back behind them either.
Finnigan hasn't made the great start this time that he did first heat.
No, he hasn't at all, Gary. I'd say they've got the wick turned up in the Turbo. This will be the... Oh, Richards very much sideways that time. That's not going to help his chances of pulling in the leaders. Scott looking sharp at this time. I dare say all the viewers watching our telecast on BTQ, Channel 7 in Brisbane. There's Fred Gibson, the husband of Chris Gibson, just observing the remains of the Pulsar sitting up the bank.
He's smiling, so Christine's okay.
Obviously, he doesn't have to repair the Pulsar. Coming out of the corner, here's the BMW up into 3rd spot. John Richards from New Zealand, formerly from New Zealand. Oh, coming out of the corner too. Very close indeed against the wall.
Former Bathurst winner Jim Richards in partnership with Peter Brock, one of the great long-distance drivers, one of the great wet weather drivers, just one of the great all-round drivers. New Zealander now domiciled in Melbourne.
Here's Masterton, the move on the inside of Garry Scott as they come down towards Honda corner. We'll see if he can make it. No, he can't. He's caught on the outside. He's getting serious about putting the pressure on now as they head down towards the lake corner. The right-hander with Garry Scott.
Masterton wants to try again. Plants the foot out of the corner.
Much closer to him this time. Through Wonderlick corner, front straight. Pit signals going up to the field as they pass by, but Scott still appears to have the measure of Steve Masterton in power going up to the top of the hill. Bobby Morris going past our commentary point with a burbling sound coming out of the RX7.
Oh, it's not burbling any longer.
No, it looks like the State Bank machine, number 10, is out of commission.
Bad place to open the door, too.
Towards Honda corner, and still Garry Scott with Steve Masterton hounding him all the way. Production touring car lap record 52.6 seconds here at Amaroo Park, held by Barry Jones. We'll try and take a split for you and give you the times being set by Garry Scott on our clock as they come.
Close to it in these conditions, I think, wouldn't it?
Yes, be hard here today. Across the line, and our clock starts. Garry Scott leading, going up Bitchapave Hill. Steve Masterton keeping him very honest indeed, coming down into the Dunlop Loop.
Jim Richards still holding down third spot.
Having a big try is Steve Masterton down towards Honda corner. To come out of Honda corner, now the run to the lake turn, which is the right-hander. Masterton closing up. Is he thinking of a run?
2 laps to go.
Very close indeed. Might have a chance here. The little Nissan Turbo really screams out of that corner.
Let's check his lap time. Oh, gee, it's pretty good. Under these conditions, 53.44.
Over the top of the hill into Dunlop Loop again.
1.5 laps to go, so Masterton's going to have to pull something out here if he's going to get by Garry Scott. Scott knows it only too well, and they're coming up on slower traffic. This may provide an opportunity. Can they get past this slower RX7? Yes, they can. No trouble at all.
1.25 laps remaining. To the lake corner again. The Nissan Turbo with Garry Scott finally enjoying some luck here at Amaroo Park. A short straight now to Wonderlick corner. The signal will go out this time. 1 lap to go, and here's Masterton working, well, thinking about it, gave a dab of the brakes as he thought about running up the inside of Garry Scott. Scott sitting on the right line, comes into Dunlop Loop.
Way back behind them, Jim Richards is still holding down third place. Terry Finnigan is 4th, and Terry Shield in 5th position, but way out of it as far as the race is concerned. It's between this pair. And you're right, Richards is, Scott's got his measure, I think.
Well, he deserves a break in luck here. Garry Scott is doing well. Just a dab of the brakes, a little puff of smoke coming off the front wheel that time, but down to the lake corner.
Last chance for Masterton. Not there.
I think Scott's going to make any mistakes. The short straight to Wonderlick corner, and looking good now as he comes down to take the checkered flag. For heat number 2 is Queensland's Garry Scott. Just wins it. Second place across the line going to Steve Masterton, and Jim Richards in the BMW coming across to take the checkered flag in 3rd place. One of the more interesting heats of the Better Brakes AMSCAR Touring Car Series. The winner, Garry Scott, in the Turbo Nissan. Number 16, Steve Masterton places 2nd in the Falcon. 3rd place goes to Jim Richards in the JPS BMW. It's one that didn't finish, the front-wheel drive Nissan Pulsar, but it'll be towed away and it'll be back for the next meeting. Meanwhile, we're going to take a break and return live to Amaroo Park Raceway.